Tonight, we made history. In the words of Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it is done.
Shockwaves are still reverberating this week after 33-year-old Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani pulled off a major upset, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary for New York City mayor. Mamdani's supporters say he represents just what the party needs. But some members of the Democratic establishment are reportedly melting down over his victory. And Republicans are wasting no time attacking the man who could be New York City's first Muslim mayor. One Republican congressman going so far as to say Zohran, quote, little Mohammed Mamdani should be deported, and urging the attorney general to launch denaturalization proceedings against him. His justification, a rap lyric. I can't believe I just read that. Specifically, Mamdani once performed a song including the line, "Free the Holy Land 5, my guys," referring to men convicted in 2008 of providing material support to Hamas. And joining us now, Basil Smikle, Democratic strategist and former executive director of the New York State Democratic Party, and Amanda Lipman, co-founder and president of Run for Something. Thank you both very much for being here. I'm still a little... I can't believe the Republican attacks. That's the word I was going to use, shook by Republican response to Mamdani. But Amanda, we begin the questioning with you. I just wonder, it's one thing to run in a Democratic primary for mayor and to win on ideas of free buses and other progressive or even socialist ideas that Mamdani ran on and won on. But will they work come the general election?
In New York City, absolutely, because he's advocating for the things that really affect people's quality of life. You know, cost of housing, cost of childcare, how you get around the city, how you move. The case that he has made, yes, the specific policy positions are what are exciting and interesting, but beyond that, it's what the ideology that's going to drive his mayorship. He is such a compelling communicator, and the things he's communicating reach a part of the city that haven't really been talked to or about before, at least in a very long time. I am, as a New York City voter, I'm very excited to see the kind of energy he's going to bring to the general, and then hopefully to see a kind of mayor lead that is driven at every part of the bureaucracy by reducing the cost of living.
Basil, one of the things that's so interesting to me about this is kind of the lessons, and we all have been talking about since it happened, for Democrats and that they should take from it. And I feel like it's not that complicated. I feel like something that y'all do, y'all Democrats do, y'all make stuff real complicated sometimes. One, if you're going to not want a Democratic socialist to be the nominee for any, whether it's a municipal race or the presidency, then run a candidate who can beat them, right? Maybe don't run someone like Andrew Cuomo. A lot of his critics turned his endorsers. 40% of his top endorsements by elected officials came from people who publicly condemned him just 4 years ago. So there's that. Maybe run a candidate who will actually get out there and campaign. Mamdani was everywhere all the time. And it's not just because I'm a, social media kid. He was everywhere all the time. New Yorkers that I talked to said they were able to touch his hand and say hello and yell at him and disagree with him to his face. And he was exciting. It doesn't mean, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I don't think it means that Democrats need to always run someone on the left-hand side of everybody, right? And Amanda, you and I have been talking about this for years. But Basil, what are your lessons? What are your takeaways from this, most importantly, for like a national audience? Are we thinking too much about this?
No, I think everything you said is correct. I think the big takeaway is if you're going to run a campaign, create a movement around your candidates.
Right.
That's really important, right? Talk about big ideas. Don't just talk about the same things over and over again. Appeal to, voters that may not have been touched before. And there have been some recent reports that he has, I think Gotham has did this report, that he actually did well in areas that Trump did well, in New York City, right? Because he talked about these issues of, as Amanda said, he talked about affordability. He talked about things that can happen and the ways in which they're possible. Now, there are going to be folks who are going to say these ideas are ridiculous. There are going to be establishment Democrats, older Democrats, because there was a bit of a generational divide, who are going to still want the city to track more to the center. But we have to understand that in pockets, more and more pockets across the country, there is a need for disruptive politics. There's a need for a generational change in that politics. And I'll just say very quickly, when I got into this business in the early 90s, my mentor used to say, every movement becomes an institution. And the reality is that the Democratic Party, for so many voters, has become an institution that they can't trust. So this institution was in need of a movement. And I think in many ways, that's what you saw in New York City.
Basil, I'm going to stick with you here because one of the most interesting things to come out of this election was the black vote. I'm going to read this headline to you. Mamdani triumphed without a majority of black voters. Where does that leave them? Here's one piece. A New York Times analysis of the results shows that Mr. Cuomo dominated in precincts where at least 70% of residents are black, more than doubling Mr. Mamdani's support, 59% to 26%. And then here's a very interesting second piece of this. Quote, the tough part that we're wrestling with, Reverend Rashad Moore added, is Zoran won with support of liberal progressive white folk. Are these the same progressive white folk that are pricing us out and we can't live in the community? That's the tension. And clearly, literally, Basil, that is the tension. I would love your thoughts and reflections on this as someone who used to be in the leadership of the state Democratic Party.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm also a voter that got active when Jesse Jackson ran in '88, right? Because I saw somebody that looked like me on TV saying then that the Democrats were not being responsive enough to people that look like him, which meant look like me. And, for 30 plus years, you've had a lot of African-American voters who, were supportive of David Dinkins when he became mayor, and so many other candidates in New York and across the country who saw the Democratic Party as a path to political and economic empowerment. And when you have a candidate and a lot of voters that don't view the party as being that impactful in different parts of their lives, that older voter, that African-American voter is going to say, well, I may not trust that candidate because he wants to blow up something that I've come to rely on in many ways, and that is the party of people that I care about and trust. And as you talk about, being seen, that intimacy is important. So they'll see their leaders at these Democratic clubs and, in the subway stations or holding town halls. But there's a whole group, a whole population of voters in New York City that don't have those connections, don't have those ties, don't have that history and those relationships, and also see the party as not being responsive to them. Yeah. So that disconnect, I do think, is both generational and it's also racial. But I do think that's the work that he has ahead of him, right? To be able to convince voters, particularly African-American voters, that his policies are inclusive of them, and that there's also that path to political economic empowerment.
Amanda, one of the things that we often see when someone wins a primary is that the leadership of the party and then eventually the rank and file get behind them and say, like, this is who the voters chose in our party. Let's get going, no matter who that person is. But Dem leadership has been falling short of endorsing him. Schumer Jeffries congratulated him on his upset. You have a lot of leaders who have issues with things that he has said, which they can call him, and I'm sure he'd be happy to talk with them about. Bernie Sanders, the senator, urging Democratic unity behind Mamdani, said, Democratic Party leaders, you have talked for 6 months about the need to create political excitement to get working class and young people involved in the political process. That's exactly what Zoran did. Get behind him. There's also every time that the moderate wins, they like to tell all
blue no matter who.
And that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It's interesting. What does that say about where the party is, and more importantly, how they're grappling with what their identity is? And one more thing that keeps popping into my head is sometimes it feels like the centrists of the party and sometimes the leadership operate by fear a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And what you're seeing is that Mamdani does not do that. Donald Trump does not operate and campaign in fear.
I think there's a couple of things to take away from this moment. One, the Democratic establishment, not that powerful. We just saw them lose. They are they're not unbeaten, they're only unchallenged. Two, I think that Democratic leaders who don't get behind Zoran in this moment forcefully and do whatever he and his team want, especially the ones who represent New York City, so looking at you, Schumer, Jeffries, Senator Gillibrand, who's really gone off the rails on this, you will be why people don't trust the Democratic Party. Because if someone can win the primary with such a forceful show of presence against the odds, and then the party leadership doesn't rally behind the nominee, what are we doing here? Who is this party really for? The third thing I would say is that while leadership may be losing their minds, young people across the country have seen Zoran's win and are stepping up to run for office. This has been the biggest driver of candidate recruitment that Run for Something has seen since inauguration. We've had nearly 4,000 people raise their hands just since Tuesday night to say,
4,000 since Tuesday.
4,000 since Tuesday. It's bigger even than the Doge firings or the Schumer shutdown, which has been our biggest moments yet. And it is only growing. It's hundreds more every time I check the dashboard every hour or two. It is thousands of young people who are looking at what Mamdani did here in New York and saying, you know what, maybe I don't agree with him on every policy, but I too can fight for my community. I can fight to see the issues I care about represented on the ballot, and I'm not going to let anyone tell me to wait my turn.
Looks like establishment folks going to have to
Watch
get
out.
it together.
Change
4,000 is a
is coming,
lot.
whether you like it or not.
4,000 is a lot. Basil and Amanda, thank you so much for joining us this morning.